increase your testosterone? Hi, I'm Dr. Muhammad Al-Qasim, and today we'll be talking about hormone T. It is the dominant male hormone. It is what it influences most of our characteristics, the power, the energy, the strength, the love of cars, the love of sports, the sharp intellect, the navigational skills, the rage, and the confidence. Oh, so much confidence. All found in one element, chemical T, like Mr. T. Physical form of it is seen in the body. This is mostly in the V-shaped body, as well as the excessive hair around the face and in other parts of the body. It also includes the loss of hair in certain parts of the body, like the crown. I remember as a teenager, my father used to tell me excessive production of hair, but uneven distribution. Now, as we grow older, we start losing testosterone and we start losing all the perks that had come with it that we have grown so accustomed to. Muscle growth starts getting slower and you actually start losing muscles instead of gaining it. Libido levels start to decrease, energy levels drop, and you start encountering prostate problems, and worst of all, man boobs. So let's understand the causes and how we can avoid them or treat them, or in other ways to increase our testosterone levels. Now, let's not lie. I could give you false hope, but I'd rather give you the truth. And the truth is the most common cause of lower testosterone is older age, and that is irreversible. However, many other factors are. And to be able to increase our testosterone levels, we need to first understand estrogen. In this, we'll only understand one thing about estrogen is that it's an anti-testosterone hormone. The presence of higher levels of estrogen actually reduces the levels of testosterone. It starts to force your testosterone levels down as your body slowly starts to believe that you're, well, female. So with that being said, the first method to increase your testosterone is to lower your estrogen. And yes, we should understand that both males and females have both hormones. However, males have more T, females have more E. Now, certain foods, especially GMO foods, actually contain synthetic forms of estrogen, or in other ways, plant forms of estrogen. And one can avoid those by eating organic homegrown foods. Now, in some countries, tap water also includes some form of estrogen. But I should mention it's a negligible amount. It won't affect that much, but if you want to cut down as much as possible, you could just use filtered water. Now, more importantly, and the strongest factor is actually fat. Fat tissue has the ability to produce estrogen on its own independently. Now, when I say independently, I mean that it's not included as part of the body system that regulates the amount of estrogen being produced. Your body has a system to control how much estrogen is produced, and fat can actually bypass that. It just produces its own. It's unstoppable. So if you want to reduce your E, you need to reduce your F. Now, those were methods of actually reducing estrogen that encounters the levels of testosterone. Now, these were methods to reduce levels of estrogen, which will help increase testosterone. But what about increasing testosterone on its own? Well, again, certain foods do increase your T, especially foods like zinc from natural sources like oysters. But I should mention, you should be really careful with those because they do increase libido. And personally, as a single Muslim man, I had to learn to avoid zinc in order to avoid sin. Another very important method to increase T, which is extremely underrated, is exercise, especially upper body exercise. Now, all exercise increases T, but upper body exercise is next level. And this is exactly why people may get addicted to the gym, because with it comes that boost in T, and with the boost in T comes the boost in confidence, in happiness, and in self-esteem. Now, more important than anything in this video, I'd like to mention how not to increase your testosterone. What are the methods that you should not be using to increase testosterone? And this is the real reason I made this video. I overheard some of my friends who are lacking in the facial hair area, and they recognized that it was because of lower testosterone levels, and they decided to use some synthetic forms of testosterone to boost their testosterone levels and increase their facial hair. Now first, I'd just like to address that concern. When it comes to things like facial hair or other bodily hair, it's not just the levels of testosterone that's the only factor, but it's also the sensitivity of the skin to testosterone. So in some cases, people with very high levels of testosterone might have no hair features at all. But in other cases, people with very low testosterone might still have so many features because their skin specifically is so sensitive to testosterone that it's reacting to it and showing the findings. But again, people not knowing this, some of my friends have decided to use some forms of synthetic testosterone, basically steroids, testosterones in the form of syringes or even pills. Now I know many people might think that's the easy way out and that's the only way that probably be able to catch up to their peers, and it might be affecting their self-esteem and whatnot. But trust me, synthetic testosterone or steroids are much, much worse. Yes, I'm not saying it won't influence facial hair growth. It will, but it comes at a cost, and that cost is testicular shrinkage. As your body finds a different source of testosterone, which is the external source, it reduces its own internal production. So that leads to your testes shrinking in size until they actually become non-functional. Now, if you're willing to throw away your testes for some facial hair and gaining recognition by peers, I won't stop you, but instead, I'd recommend that you increase your testosterone by healthier methods, such as eating the right food, upper body exercises, losing fat, and avoiding the letter T. And as always, stay healthy. Stay safe, stay healthy. I'll see you.